Welcome. We're here for another exercise class today. We are going to do a warm-up, go through a workout that will be working upper body, lower body, as well as our core, and then do a stretch. If you do have a TheraBand, we will be using it for some exercises. If you do not have it, you can just do the exercises without. Let's go ahead and we are going to get started. We're going to take a big, deep breath in, reaching our arms up, inhaling through our nose, and exhaling down. It sets the intention for the day. Deep breath in again, inhale up, and exhale down. We're going to start with a march. I'm going to be staying in my chair today. You can't, well, my intention is to stay in my chair, but I might be standing up. You can stand, have something close to you to hold on to, or stay, go back and forth. It's really up to you. If your arms are allowed and you don't have restrictions of chairs, get those arms pumping, lifting our knees a little bit higher, trying to warm up our body. We're going to take these marches and we're going to march them out and in. Right leg leads, join me out and in. Start small to begin with, getting the pattern. If it requires only your feet, get your feet moving. And then I want us to get them as big as we can. With that, opening up our hips, we'll want to do that later on. If your hands can follow, they can stay low and have a little bit of external rotation, or we can bring them up above our head and get our shoulders ready for movements as well. Last two, last one, stay in and march. We're going to take this, tapping our toes to the outside, continuing our warm-up with opening lateral movements of our legs. Arms, same leg, opening out to the side. Lengthen up tall, whether you're standing or in that chair. Keep the toes the same, just our arm, no rotation with our body. We're going to press across. Try to get that arm shoulder height. Again, the whole point is to warm up. This allows retraction and extension through that scapula. Add just a little twist to it, getting movement in from our waist. So if you don't get dizzy, you can watch those hands press across your body. If you do get a little bit dizziness or vertigo, our head can stay forward, but notice my shoulders are rotating, getting movement in our waist. Last one, back to a march. If you're in your chair, I want you to join me. If you're standing, can you continue to be flat-footed? But we are going to march only on our heels, only on our heels. Arms stay moving. Adjust that posture. I just found myself sinking down into this chair. Flat feet, left leg leads, same thing, out and in. This time I want us to lift our legs a little bit higher. So we're not just skimming that carpet or that floor, we're getting space between. I'm starting with external rotation with my arms, opening up my shoulders, last one like that. Feet stay the same, arm now reach. I call this, it looks like us that we're a starfish here. One more. Stay in march. Standing or in your chair, we're lifting and trying to touch underneath. Notice my leg is lifting. I'm not crunching down to that. Spine stays straight. Last one, back down, changing this, tapping our heels forward. We are going to let our arms swing. I don't have arms in my chair, so I can swing just as if I'm standing. If you do, press them forward. Notice it's opposite arm, just as if we're walking. If I turn again, I don't stop at my side. I try to bring that arm behind my back, getting full range of motion through our shoulders. It can be bent and more of a push. Again, if you have restrictions based on a chair. Change this, reaching straight up. One arm's up, the other one is pushing down. My palms are pressing up and down. Being intentional with our wrists. Think about our posture. Chin is flat. Back to a march for me. If you're in the chair, we're up on our tippy toes. If not, you're flat, lifting a little bit higher. Bring it back flat. Side step, step and tap. Get the motion with our feet, arms follow, coming across our body. It's a swing down or a swim across. Changing this, the arms first, they're gonna push across our body with those legs. And now I'm bringing this heel in front. Crossing our midline. Very important for our brain to cross our midline. Very important for our hips to be able to have this motion. In case you're falling to the side, to be able to have that range of motion across. So multiple benefits here. Keep these heels, they're going straight in front. Arms doing two things, intentional about our palms, straight forward, straight up. So the entire time, those palms are being shown at you. I'm not letting them face the ground, straight towards what would be my camera. For you, straight towards your TV that you're watching me. Same thing, change to our toes. Arms now are going to crisscross. Try to pull these elbows back and down every cross. Heart rate should be coming up just a little bit. Those joints should be warming up a little bit. Just a few more moments with me. Bring it back to a march. If you're standing, we're doing a basic step. If you're in a chair, the same thing. I'm gonna turn so you can see me. Your right leg leads, I step forward, step back. So that left follows. If you're in your chair, you can go heel to toe. If you're standing, you're not able to do that. Stay in, feet together. Cross-country skiing where we're coming side to side. Hands are together. If you're standing, you're not gonna be able to do this. Do a ski where these toes come behind, arms can sweep through. But in our chair, lower abdominals, we lift. Even if it's a slide across that carpet or a high lift, we're adding rotation. Lower body and upper body going in different directions. Again, a stand is a tap underneath. March. Left leg gets to lead. Basic step, forward, back. It can be a pumping of the arms. It can be a following of the feet. Your arms, as long as they're moving and with good posture, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Stay. Palms facing up, elbows in tight. External rotation, tap the heel, bring it back in. Doing it slow, picking it up to tempo. Trying to externally rotate your hip and your shoulder as much as you can, keeping that belly button and nose in place. We don't want rotation or slide of that rear. Keep the palms facing up. We're agreeing and lifting our thumb towards the back of the room or behind you. Again, we can slow it down. It does not have to be to the tempo that I have. Last bit, march. Let's lift. Try to touch the inside of that heel. Again, if I move sideways, the goal is to keep my back straight. Even if I'm seating, my back is straight, my leg is coming up. It is a cardio move because it gets our heart rate up. We can extend up tall, but what I'm really wanting is internal rotation of that hip, working our inner thigh to lift up. So a lot of work can be done with this. And if you have tight hips, it's challenging. It simulates, so even if you didn't touch, that we bring and we're crossing our ankle up over that knee. That's what we're doing here. Bring it back down. This is going to be low. We're going to widen it out to rest these feet, hinging forward. Deep breath, sweeping these arms up. And exhale down. One more. Hinge, sweep, inhale through the nose. And exhale down. We're going to do some posture work today to begin with. Move my hair out of my shoulders so you can see it is just a simple shrug. Shoulders down, neck long, chin straight. We shrug as much up to our ears as we can and release. Inhale, shrug. Exhale it all out and release. When we're doing a lot of exercises with our shoulders and upper body, naturally those shoulders start to try to creep up. We want to keep them down. Starting with this exercise so you can feel the difference. Last one, hold and feel the difference, tight and tension. Exhale, feel the difference, the loose here. This is 4 parts. It is a VWTL, lots of letters. Hands come together. We've done a lot of them. The new one is the L for some of you. We're going to come up to a letter V. Hold down to what looks like a W. Flip those palms facing out. I have a wall, so I'm not sure it's going to work very well. I come out to a T position. This is the new 90-degree angle to an L or an L, whatever way you see it. So if hands not up, it's down. Repeat. I'm going to stay standing so the wall stays out of my way. Lift. Notice thumbs pointed back. Squeeze. Thumbs still pointing back. Pinching the shoulder blades. Palms up. Go out to a straight T position. Think about those shoulders. Drop it down. This movement down to this L. Rotator cuff gets to work a lot. One more of each. Lift. Retract the shoulder blades. Thumbs pointing back. See if we can get it straight up. Hold down to the W, squeeze. We should be able to pinch the bottom of those shoulder blades together. Palms out. Press out to the T. Drop down to the L and release. Shake them out. A lot of small muscles in through those shoulders. We're going to grab our band. Grab our band. We're going to wrap it around our legs. Again, I said we're working our hips. This is going to be opening up. You can't see my feet, but my feet are all the way together, toes pointed forward. I open as wide as I can, and I slowly close. So if you think of a count, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm even going slower than 4, it seems like. We open, but it's a slow. We're fighting against, and you might feel a little shaky, and that's okay. The tighter you squeeze, the more resistance there is. So some of you might be able to get your legs open a little bit wider because you don't have as much resistance. Some of you might not be able to get even this wide because of lack of range of motion. That's okay. But it's slow back together, fighting against the resistance that just wants us to close. We don't want to do that. One last one. And we rest this. We take this off. I'm just going to keep it here because I'm going to need it. Next one is going to be another posture move. We're going to start with our right arm. It's out into a single field goal post. Not both sides, just the one. I'm going to place my hand on my shoulder because it helps me remember to relax it. I know the background with that is in the way, but what I'm going to do is keep my arm in place, try to rotate down as much as I can, keeping the shoulder relaxed and popping back up. If I turn, I'm rotating down, popping back up. Chest lifted. I feel a little bit of movement in my shoulder. It's creaking and cracking for me, which I'm not surprised. I'm not having pain. I just know it's working things that I don't normally move. Think straight line. It's going to want to get tired and drop down. Straight line. Last one. Flip it back up, relax it. Feel the difference between those arms. We get to even ourselves out. You're going to find one arm being probably a lot easier than the other. Rotate down, back up. Rotate down. I have much better range of motion on this side than my other. If this means you can only rotate this far, that's okay. We go as far as we can, keeping elbow lifted and not collapsing in. We work with our abilities. Last one here. Release it. Now we do both. If you have a flat wall, there's always the option, I know you're not going to see me very well, of coming up to the wall, an external rotation down and back up. But you do not need that. That just helps us prevent us from cheating. And I know you don't have a mirror. I get to see myself recording. Do your best. Stay tall, elbows lifted. We only have two more. Last one, small muscles to help support and stabilize our shoulder. So it's not a large muscle group here, relax it down, but you might feel tired in our shoulders because it's lifting it and the small muscles are working. Let's go ahead. We're going to do either squats, chair stands, or those power-ups, whatever it looks like. So I'm doing a chair stand now where I sit all the way down, come back up, a squat. I'm not taking any resistance off. I am pressing back, squatting down, standing tall. And that power-up, if you can't get out of that chair, we try to get as much as we can and back down. You've seen me do these where I'm lifting up and then I'm slow back down. It's not an up and I fall back down, which I know a lot of us do, but it's controlled. And that's exactly if you're doing a chair stand, it's controlled and slow. Power, slow. We want those muscles under tension. Same concept. Squat, up tall, squeeze the glutes. Slow down, knees stay in alignment here. So wherever you're at, we do. Last one. We're grabbing our band again. Relax the lower body, upper body, still working on posture. I told you we're going to work today. Grabbing this, if you don't have it, you don't need it. I'm going to place my left hand on my hip pocket. My right elbow, ideally at least straight across. If you can keep it relaxed and down, elbow can angle up. Holding tight to my hip, I'm extending and bending. Ideally, through the entire movement, the only thing moving is I'm straightening and bending my elbow. I'm not lowering my arm, No movement from the shoulder. All the movement comes from the elbow joint. If I can turn, elbows back, straight line. It's not sneaking forward on me. One more. Rest, shake, repeat on our other side. Elbow, relax shoulder. Let's take a breath in, relax it out, shake it out if you need to, extend. Not a quick movement. I'm purposely slow, which you will find slow controlled movements can sometimes be even more difficult than those fast movements. Last one. Rest it, shake this out. Lower body work. I'm going to turn. We're doing reverse lunges. In your chair, if I turn, what this looks like, and I'm going to scoot forward in my chair just because so I have room. I'm going to drop this leg back as far as I can, come back up. It can slide against the carpet, or it can lift and step. If I'm standing, reverse lunge, I step, I lower, I recover. Maybe it's just a reverse step where I step, unload, power back up. So there are many options. Ideally, the move, hip stays squared. I come, I open up my hip flexor, power back up. Weight is on, heel, as I come back up. Even though the upper body's not doing anything, I want it back. We don't want to hinge or load forward. We want this glute, the leg stepping back, to engage and support through our hip flexor. Even here, it engages so that it supports through our hip flexor. Last one. Rest, switch legs right away. It can be that step. It can be the slide. It can be a reverse lunge, anywhere in between. Stay tall. Power back up. We have two more. Let's center ourselves. We need the band again. Right arm working. I'm putting the band nice and secure underneath my foot. Tall, chin lifted. I'm going to hinge, grab a hold tightly, and row. Notice my elbow coming back behind my body, elbow not coming out, hand sliding straight up. It comes to our waist. You can support yourself like I am. You can bring that arm out, make our core work a little bit harder. If you're standing, having that staggered stance. Last one. Stay with this arm, come up tall. Out of that hinge, palm facing forward, bicep curl. So now we are doing larger muscles in our upper body. Giving those shoulders a little bit of rest. Last two. And one. Rest it, switch sides. Get secure, hold, hinge forward. So I'm basically putting that lower body, that lower abdominal on my legs. Pull back. Chin is lifted. Back is flat. I'm not rounded. I'm not looking down at my knees or my thighs. My vision is out in front as I squeeze. Last two. And one. Come tall, bicep curl. Last one. Rest it, release it. I'm running out of time. As many of you know, I like to do that. We're gonna do one more leg movement that starts engaging our core, and then we have a couple core exercises, and then we'll stretch. If you can be at the front of your chair to keep that support. Otherwise, scoot to the very back of your chair so you have support in your back without losing that. Spine should be straight. Flip to only our heels. We lift, we push, we pull, we come down to a light heel. Alternate leg, we lift, we push, we pull, we're down. We are straight. Nothing is moving besides the leg. That way we are engaging our lower abdominals as we lift, as we support, as we push out and pull back in. What I want you to think about is not only staying straight in the core, but that knee stays in alignment. It lifts, it's not collapsing in, it's not wanting to come out. A lot of us will lift and it will not be in alignment and it will be here. We want our lower abdominals to work and not just our hip flexors. So keep our knees in. Lift as high as you can. One more each leg. Last one. Rest it. Shake these out. Feet are going to be flat. We're going to do some lean backs, and that's going to be the end. So we are tall. We're going to start with our hands out in front of us. There's going to be some change in movements. I turn. I lean back. My spine is straight. My head is engaged. My core is engaged and working. Squeeze everything. Even squeeze your glutes to make this work a little bit harder. We hold for 5, 2, 1, come back up. We have 3 more of those. I'm going to do progression of arm movements to make it more difficult. Anytime it's too difficult or you feel like you have to collapse in or you have a bulge of those abdominals, come back to this movement. So I'm going to start with my hands in front. Going to lean back just like I did. But now I'm going to lift my arms above my head. Makes it more difficult. Bigger lever. This is too much. Come back down. But I'm going to hold. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Release. Shake it out. 2 more. Hands out in front. Stay here if you need to. Progression is going up. I'm going to show you a third option. Lean back and hold. Here, here, or you can join me and come out wide. And I get into a wall. I'm shaking. I'm going to have to really focus on pulling this in and tight. My chin is tucked, straight line. I'm still breathing because I'm talking. Bring it back and up. All right. Front, above, side, or movement. And that's my 4th and final progression. Any of those are okay. I've obviously gotten warm because I'm showing you my legs. Out in front. I'm starting here and I'm moving through. Nice and tall. Lean back. We're breathing. I lift up. I come out. I come back forward. Lean back a little bit farther if you can with me. Up. We're breathing. Out. In. And done. Shake that out. Let's lengthen up. Lean a little bit from side to side. A little bit of rotation. We can hinge forward just a little bit and shake those shoulders out. Rolling up, and we're ready to stretch. Let's turn our legs. Leg drops down, tuck our tailbone. My toe is tucked underneath, so I'm pressing back against my hip. I like to place my hands on my leg and press up, because otherwise we want to lean forward and we lose what we're trying to stretch to the front of our thigh. Again, I'm engaging that glute. Let's release. We'll switch to our other side. Knee points straight down or as close to as you can. There's always an option to hold onto the back of the chair. I just don't want us hinged forward. Do our very best to be straight. Bring this forward, hamstrings next. Right leg out in front, my heel is down, my toe is up. I think I'm blocked on camera. I'm hinging forward. Notice my chin is lifted. I'm not down. Also for this, I don't necessarily want you reaching for your toes. You can, but with the hands here, we have no goal but to truly feel the stretch. When we start reaching, if I can reach it, I stop there, but that maybe is not enough of a stretch for me. So we go until we can and have support. I don't want putting any pressure on this leg or this knee because it can damage it. Come back up, we will switch. Same thing, notice I readjusted tall, hinge from the weights, not through the spine. Shake my leg out if I need to make sure my toe is pointed forward and my foot is flexed. And when you're ready, let's come back up. Ankle over the knee or over the ankle. Trying to open through our hip as flat as we can. Again, lifting tall, hinging forward. We did lateral movements. We did movements for our hip to hit that range of motion. This is one that can help it. I place my hand here, so just the weight of that arm can help push it down. Many of us are here. We never want to force it down. My leg goes there, so that's as far as it goes, just with the additional weight of my arm. Come back up, and we will switch. And this is one that you can find a big difference for a lot of people on the side. Hinge forward. For any of the men that cross one leg over the other, women that cross, and it always be the same one. Then all of a sudden you try to do it with the other one, and that hip doesn't want to open the same way. Release it. Arm comes across, we pull it in. Try to relax the shoulder down. We can open and close. Move your head around if you need to. Same arm, lifts up over, trying to walk our fingertips down our spine, making sure we're not looking straight down, we're looking forward. Release, opposite arm across. Movement to the hand, to the wrist. Lift it up and over. Release that. Let's interlace our hands, thumbs point down, we round. This is the one time I told you we can kind of C-curve around. Head can shake no, lift tall, lean. Other way. Back to the top, just a few shoulder rolls back. I like to always do shoulder rolls back before we do our neck, back and relax, because it gets us in good posture. Head can tilt, opposite hand, thumb pointing up, pull it slightly back. I take a deep breath in and release it out. Really trying to release and let the tension just kind of melt away from that neck. Back up, opposite hand out, opposite ear down to our shoulder. Again, I'm saying ear to the shoulder, not shoulder to the ear. Release our hands, tuck our chin down, just a few rolls right to left. We can slowly come back up. Let's finish with 2 big deep breaths. We inhale and exhale down. One more, the biggest breath you're going to take today. Inhale in and exhale down. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.